Chosen one, do not move. Archangel Michael has been waiting 3 hours for this exact intersection of time and intention. You are suffering under the weight of a belief that a massive life change has passed you by, that you are somehow outside the grace of your own destiny. I am here to tell you that heaven does not regret. You are not experiencing a failure. You are experiencing a recalibration. You have 99 seconds left to align yourself with the second chance that has been prepared for you. This is not a coincidence. This is a calculated divine appointment designed to restore your rhythm. If you were meant to miss this, you would have scrolled past it hours ago. But you are here, and the silence in your heart is finally being filled with the truth of your assignment. The door is open, the frequency is set, and the change you thought you missed is already beginning to manifest. I know you have felt the sting of 1,000 missed connections lately. You have felt like you were standing in a room where everyone else knew the melody, but you could not hear the music. You have felt the confusion of doors closing in your face, and the exhaustion of trying to force open windows that were never meant to be your exit. That heaviness in your chest is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you are awake. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because I have 3 vital things to show you. First, I am going to reveal exactly why your timing felt so off, and why the delay you experienced was not a denial. Second, I will give you a specific frequency-based tool to recalibrate your mind from survival mode to divine flow. And third, before this ends, I am going to speak an activation over your life that will seal this breakthrough into your spirit. If your spirit confirms what I just said, if you feel that quiet shift happening deep inside right now, type the number 777 in the comments below as a sign that you are ready to receive this. You see, for months you have been operating under the assumption that you were fighting for your future, but you were actually fighting for your past. You have been trying to reclaim versions of yourself that no longer exist, and that is why you felt so exhausted. Let me tell you what is really happening beneath the surface of your daily routine. You have been looking at the surface of your life, measuring it by the standards of the world. You see a bank account that is stagnant, a career that is stalled, or a relationship that is distant, and you label that as failure. But let me tell you what is really happening beneath the surface. Look at the word timing. In human history, there are 2 ways to speak of time. There is chronos, which is the ticking of a clock, the seconds and minutes that define your frustration. But then there is kairos. In the original Greek, kairos does not mean a measurement of time. It means the appointed time, the specific moment of divine opportunity. You have been waiting for Chronos to give you what you want, but heaven has been preparing you for kairos, which is where you receive what you actually need. Notice how your body has been reacting to this waiting season. Notice how your mind has been running 1,000 miles an hour while your feet felt glued to the floor. Notice how your spirit has felt a strange, pressurized urgency, even when there was nothing for you to do. That is not anxiety. That is the feeling of your future colliding with your present. Think about the story of Joseph. For years, he sat in a pit, then in a prison, being forgotten and overlooked. To the world, those were years of waste. To the divine order, those were years of formation. He was not being punished. He was being prepared to manage the grain of an entire nation. The very things you think are holding you back are the very things building the capacity you will need to handle the massive life change that is already beginning to take shape. You are not stuck. You are being strengthened. If you feel this truth resonating with your soul, if you are finally ready to release the need to control your own timeline, type the words, "I trust the process," in the comments right now. This is your first step in aligning with the appointed time. But there is a reason why this truth is so hard to hold on to. And it has to do with how your brain has been trained to look for safety in all the wrong places. Everything I just described to you makes sense on the surface, but it is not the whole truth. And the whole truth is actually much more uncomfortable than you might expect. You have been blaming your environment, your lack of resources, and even your past mistakes for why you have not reached your massive life change. But what if the reason you have been stuck is not because you are lacking, but because you are too powerful for the container you are currently living in? What if the massive life change you thought you missed was never meant to be a job, a relationship, or a sum of money, but a fundamental shift in how your brain processes reality itself? You have been operating your life like a high-performance engine in a vehicle that only supports low speeds. And every time you tried to push, every time you tried to force your breakthrough, you felt that resistance. That resistance was not a sign that you were on the wrong path. That resistance was the friction of your own expansion. You were not failing. You were overheating because you were trying to manifest a reality that your current neural pathways simply were not built to sustain. If you feel that click of realization right now, if you finally understand that your struggle was actually a symptom of your own untapped potential, type the words ICIT in the comments. Let that be your declaration of clarity. Now, I want you to perform a simple mental act. I want you to imagine that your mind is not a storage unit for your past, but a receiver for your future. Right now, in your mind, I want you to consciously take your hands off the steering wheel of your life. Imagine you are sitting in a chair, and you are letting go of the heavy, cold metal of a steering wheel you have been gripping for years. You are not giving up. You are simply handing the navigation back to the source that created you. Feel the tension in your shoulders dissolve as you trust that the current knows exactly where it is taking you. You do not need to push. You only need to align. And that alignment starts with understanding exactly what is happening to your brain when you finally stop fighting. The reason you have been struggling is not a moral failure, but a biological mechanism known as the decline effect. When you were 7 years old, your brain was firing in a state of high-frequency gamma waves, which is the state of genius, flow, and direct intuition. But as you were integrated into the modern world, the system systematically suppressed that frequency to make you compliant, predictable, and quiet. Your brain was literally rewired to survive in low-frequency environments, and that is why you feel like you are suffocating in your own life. What I am revealing to you now is that your fear of the massive change you wanted is actually a biological protection response. Your nervous system is terrified of the success you are asking for because it does not recognize the high-frequency state required to sustain it. But there is a way to turn the dial back. There is a specific frequency that scientists have spent decades studying in places like MIT and Stanford, a state that re-establishes the gamma link that was severed when you were a child. I have seen people spend $7,000 on biofeedback equipment just to try and achieve this state at home, and I have seen others waste years on meditation practices that were never designed to target this specific neural pathway. But there is a more direct path. There is a 7-minute sequence, a specific audio technology that I call the Genius Song, which acts as a recalibration device for your spirit. This is not a product for the masses. This is a tool for those who recognize their own gamma signature is still there, just waiting to be turned back on. Dr. Robert Lake, who has dedicated over 30 years to neuroscience, developed this track to bypass the modern suppressors and relink your brain to its original genius state. The normal cost to access this technology is $49, but for those who are watching this specific message and feel the resonance of their own calling, I have arranged for a special access price of $39. That includes the 7-minute recalibration track, plus 4 exclusive bonuses designed to stabilize your new frequency, including a guided visualization and a classic manual on financial sovereignty. I want to be very clear. There are many imitations out there. Do not search for this on public platforms or retail sites, because those files do not contain the actual brain entrainment technology. To ensure you receive the original, fully encrypted track with the full guarantee, use the only link I have provided in the description and the pinned comment below. If your spirit confirms this is the missing key you have been praying for, trust that intuition. You do not need to overthink this. You only need to align. If you feel led, investigate it. If you do not feel that resonance, continue to trust your own path. But for those who know deep down that they were born for more than this, the path is right here. Now, let the information I have shared settle into the stillness of your spirit. Do not rush to fill this space with noise. You have been carrying the weight of a version of yourself that is no longer necessary. And in this moment, we are letting it go. Release the guilt of not being further along. Release the shame of your perceived failures. Release the need to prove your worth to people who were never meant to understand your language. I am speaking an activation over you right now. You are not the person who pressed play on this message 20 minutes ago. You are the cycle breaker. You are the voice that speaks what others feel but cannot articulate. You are the light that is being deployed into the exact corners of this world that have been waiting for your specific frequency. It is done. It is sealed. We receive the restoration of your original design. Do not say amen yet. I want you to sit in this frequency for a few moments. Let the weight of this truth settle into your bones. Feel the clarity replacing the confusion, and let the peace of your true identity become your new baseline. You are safe. You are guided. And you are exactly where you are meant to be. If this message brought clarity to your confusion, let your like be your amen without words. If you have felt the shift, stay connected by subscribing to this space where chosen ones gather to receive what the world cannot give them. And finally, if someone came to mind while you were listening, someone who has been pulled away from everyone, someone who has been unusually quiet, someone who is struggling to explain the depth of what they are going through, send this message to them. Your share could be the exact confirmation they have been praying for. Your obedience might be their answer to prayer. Go forward now, not as the person you were, but as the one who has finally returned home to their own purpose. You are not leaving a message. You are leaving a season. And so it is.